throughout the whole song. On the soft parts, there's some interesting reverbs going on.
Is that the weird bass reverb that gives it that swirly little?
Yeah, it's like a reverb / octave thing that it does, and it's called the ambient reverb pedal on Bias Effects too.
Yeah, too.
And what it reminds me most of is on Blink-182's All the Small Things. They kind of use a similar thing. It makes it sound like there's some sort of dreamy
like at the first.
Yeah. It sounds really cool when you can hear it with the clean guitar as well.
Also, another really cool thing is like how many guitars we layered. How many are at the first of this song? It's kind of something that we always have sort of done, and kind of wanted to do more detailed, but didn't until we got with Alex, and he was like down to just do it. Like, I think we were running a Kemper through the 5150 is the power amp, and then that was going into just the standard, 67 Marshall cab or whatever it is.
Yeah, just extra stuff that makes the big parts stand out.
Yeah, a lot of layers. Like, let's go to the hook guitar. Single all those rhythm guitars out. Just so we can kind of show, like, how many is that right there? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4,
like 8,
5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10.
A lot.
And then on the first verse, like we were talking about, that dreamy reverb comes back in, and then something cool that I got to do for the first time, and something that I had wanted to do is try to use the EBow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
you said you were like,
I was literally like, yo Alex, have you ever heard of that thing called an EBow?
And Alex.
And he was like, oh, I got one right here.
He's like, you mean this?
Yeah.
Alex gets stoked as hell.
And it actually turned out really awesome. Like I'll just play it.
It was just meant to be. This song is also tonally, I think, super fuzzy and crunchy, like, with all these layers.
Yeah.
It's not a very...
It's like there's some Vox AC30 stuff.
Yeah, there's not a really... This isn't really a gainy top song or anything like that. It's a very messy fuzz or clean crunch, and then when you kind of layer it all together, it just creates this massive...
Yeah. That's a cool lead guitar and a lead vocal.
That's probably my favorite lead in this whole song, because I just love the way it comes in like that.
God damn, the day you left me standing there in silence. You crossed the line again and broke your promise. You know that I'll keep mine.
Monkey style.
Yeah, Alex had me plug in a lot of stuff in to get it a little cleaner, which
Yeah.
is much appreciative.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah, Alex was the producer of this one. He helped us produce this.
yeah, he wrote it with us. Oh, this is something people might not have noticed. That there's a little bit of piano that comes in on the bridge. That's literally it on that part, and then. Just a little. It sounds so happy by itself,
yeah.
but in the song it's just.
In the the song you can't even really.
It's hard to make
guess at
out, but
that.
if you know, if you listen for it, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
That's
For this song, what was it? We used the SM7B paired with the what was Alex's mic? The Newman's.
okay. So this last hook, it's kind of like just an extended chorus, but there's kind of a lot going on in the vocals that.
How many vocal layers do we have going on here? What is there? 6?
Yeah. There's 6 main vocals and 8 harmonies. I think that's it. And there's like a 4-part harmony on this, so it makes it very orchestral sounding, and it kind of thickens things up, but you don't necessarily hear it very prominently in the song. So
I'll pace myself and look back to you. This feels like hell. I hate this view. So step in the moonlight and you'll know this place never felt right. I'm so wrong. Please don't let me pace myself. I've waited so I'll pace myself. You should stay a while, 'cause I've waited all my life to feel like this again.
that was really fun to put together.
Oh,
And,
yeah. I feel like that's the first time we've ever gone that in depth with something like that on a part
Yeah.
of the song.
We're still, compared to some people, we're relatively new to the recording game, even though we've been doing it for a while. We're just starting to realize a lot of things that make for a better product, like just layering a lot.
Yeah.
Like our first instinct for a while was just to have one vocal on the verse and things like that, but as we go on, it just seems to sound a lot more natural when there's at least something under there, or filling it out,
Yeah.
filling out the basic things. Oh yeah, the intro drums are kind of like a raw vibe.
I was about to say, who did the drums on this? I forgot. It was me, though.
Yeah, it was you, and ever since then we were like, maybe that's a good thing to stick to. When the big boys kick in. The bridge drum transition too, with the little lo-fi effect at first.
Then the swell of the build-up. Ooh, that snare. That was Alex's big-ass Canon snare he had.
Yeah.
Like, just a cheap, kind of no-name, but so huge and amazing sounding for some reason.
So this was actually Alex's idea to have the octaves, which octaves are sort of a mainstay in my leads over the chorus. I just harmonize with the main hook the way a miniature sus chord would, but
Honestly,
separate.
I also was going to mention that Alex is cool because I feel like he has a lot of different hats. Like, he can literally help you write your whole song, or he can kind of Rick Rubin it, which is what he did with us, and he produced us and was kind of telling us, like, that's a rad idea, don't do that there.
Maybe
Or
it'll
like-
sound good if we use a transition instead of going straight into the hook.
Yeah,
but
or like this, he was like, Stefan, maybe do a rad lead here.
So I wanted to do this but an octave down and then come in with the high version of it, but he was like, to create that movement in the same way, just have these octaves come back in. So I'll play it from here so you can hear the lead by itself and then with the octave that comes in.
Such a killer Z lead, I love it. That was like a mix of Tom DeLonge and the Killers just exploding.
Yeah,
So
and
gorgeous.
in this song, everything converges right at the end with those 3 hits, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can say about that lead is on the bridge is sort of like a low-key version of it that goes down. So it's kind of like a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Same notes, but just played more low-key in like the low octave.
Play that verse vocal with the
It's like a megaphone with the mix knob dialed back a little. And there's a cool echo right here too, which was Alex's idea. Making this song was a huge thing in refining our drum sound, kind of figuring out what we want.
And we really did the whole song on the spot. We had no clue what we were going to do with Alex, other than we said we want to come in with zero idea of a song and write it at your studio. But we were like, how about we have zero idea in like of what we want to do, and let's just go to an actual studio and see what happens. So,
Yeah. And it was a very, very flowy process because you just kind of had the acoustic.
Yeah.
And the first thing that you thought of as a hook is what we went with, and we built a song around that.
Yep.
And with Alex, it's easy because he.
And I just sat in the drum room, and you guys just kind of told me what to do,
Yeah.
and we pieced it together. And then after we laid down a pretty good drum track, we layered everything on top. And I remember it was super like, everything was very on the moment.
Yeah.
Or spur of the moment ideas, just like whatever came that sounded awesome.
It honestly kind of was instrumental in creating our sound. Because now we've been working on like, basically an album's worth of new songs that nobody's even heard. That is really like embodying what we're about to, what we're about to become as a
Yeah.
as a sound.